Hello everyone, this is Mr. Informal. I am back from my vacation. I went to Vegas for the Memorial Day weekend, and I also went to check out Hoover Dam, which was absolutely great. Now, back with the podcast. I'm on the 25th or 25 edition of Mr. Informal podcast, and this is a very special podcast because it is a podcast that I would dub sustainability, ethics, and also, how should I say this, environmentally subject. That's how I would call this podcast. And so basically, the topics for today would be ethical shopping. Ethical shopping is really, really hard to determine. The next topic is organic cotton might be worse than regular cotton. Yes, you heard that right. Organic cotton might be worse than regular cotton, which is quite interesting. And one more is basically when made in China becomes ethical and also sustainable. So those are the three topics for today. Again, this is an ethics edition of Mr. Informal podcast, and so let's start it. So I was reading an article from rack.com. The title of the article is Ethical Shopping is Nearly Impossible. So what the article basically states is that why is it that we can easily determine or complain or protest about the treatment of chickens in KFC, but we cannot do the same in the fashion industry? Meaning that how as we consumers can determine if the goods that we are buying is ethical, is sustainable, it treats employees really fair, the factory condition are quite well. So how are we supposed to know that? So basically the article goes down to it and says, well, it's really hard because even though as a manufacturer you can assign the factory that you are producing, that factory may hire another sub factory to actually produce the goods, and you might not know that because you only agree within that factory. So that factory might be doing something sneaky behind the scenes. Not only that, even if the factory that you are working with have the certifications, have the inspection reviews and also documents and ratings, you may not know that again they may be subcontracting your goods or maybe hiring another factory to do it. And so it's really hard. So as a consumer and being in an industry, I can tell you that this happens a lot and it's quite corrupt. You don't even know what's going on, even if you have certain inspector or inspection company to go down to the factory and actually inspect the factory itself, or it's actually a factory audit. And I've been in this situation before where we have goods being produced in this factory, even though we told a certain customer that no, it's being produced by this factory that is certified, that is inspected, and they are good to go. But in all honesty, we did not tell the customer the truth because we are having the goods being produced by another factory. But when it came time for inspection, that factory moved the goods to the factory that was certified and that was inspected already through the certification process and audit. So this happens a lot. Not only that, even if this factory was certified or was audited, you may never know. They may be paying the inspector money or bribing them, telling them, hey, we're gonna give you this amount of money for you to pass. And so, yeah, it's quite corrupt. Not only that, when you do see pictures, I mean, you expect to have, fire hydrant, proper signs of exit, proper signs of first aid kit, I mean, proper signs of cautions, warning signs, or certain things that you should not be doing at work, and also fair treatments into the employees. You may not know that. Heck, you may even have walls that are growing mildew and they're supposed to clean that out. Everything is supposed to be clean and neat and no hazardous materials or waste. Not only that, no no equipment that could lead onto injuries. You can't be doing that. But again, it goes back to the article's point is that ethical shopping is nearly impossible. Again, even if H&M have those signs saying, oh, this was produced in an ethical, sustainable factory or in a sustainable process, again, how am I supposed to know that you are writing everything and it is 100% true? I mean, it's really hard. I mean, I'm in this industry and there are a lot of corrupt things that goes down. The only best way for this to happen is buy less fast fashion company. That's one of the few ways you could actually at least avoid or be smart about when shopping. Again, less just know the company that you are purchasing from. Do not have any ties or be loyal to any company, because if you are, it's just gonna break your heart. And then one more thing is obviously is that try to do research, try to talk to people and see what they say about it. You just never know these type of things, and I'm giving you insider details because I work in the industry. And so reading this article made me realize that it's not, there will always be corruption as long as money is involved. It's a lot of corruption. And so on to the next topic. So this topic is quite interesting and I'm not really surprised. So I'm in Quartz or QZ.com. Basically, the title of the article is "Your Organic T-shirt might be worse for the environment than regular cotton." So brief background right here is regular cotton has been genetically modified to grow much better. Not only that, to grow better yield in terms of cotton. And so if you buy organic cotton, obviously it has less chemicals. It actually not modified and it actually grows naturally the way cotton should be growing. But here's the thing. So they did a research saying that the chart title is the amount of water required to grow cotton for t-shirt and jeans. Okay, so t-shirt, organic cotton, it takes 660 gallons of water for irrigation. Now for the conventional cotton, it only takes 290 gallons of water. Now let's move that to the jeans, okay, or denim. Organic uses 2,641 gallons of water. Conventional cotton, it uses 1,135 gallons of water. That is huge. That basically is almost more than double the amount of water that you need to irrigate a organic cotton. So that is organic cotton better for the environment? I mean, I kind of knew this already, but I did not know the amount of water was more than what conventional cotton needed. Not only that, with conventional cotton, obviously they use pesticides and chemicals to make sure that the organic cotton, conventional cotton grows much better than organic cotton. But the best thing about organic cotton is it doesn't have any pesticides, it doesn't have any chemicals, it does not have anything that can actually be harmful to the environment and also to us humans or to animals. And so obviously with organic cotton it uses more electricity, because if you're pumping out that much water, it's going to use more electricity. Not only that, with organic cotton, you're not going to have a better yield. The amount of organic cotton to create a yarn is actually more than the conventional cotton, because conventional cotton actually grows much thicker and much more, it blossoms much more, it's much better than organic cotton. And organic cotton is actually, again, it's much more natural, to be honest with you. Those are the only advantages that organic cotton has. But it is a business, and so if you're a business and you want to make as much profit as you can, well, obviously the best route would be conventional cotton, because it has better yields, and so you can produce more. Not only that, your quality would be much better compared to organic cotton. With organic cotton, it takes longer, and you have to use that more organic cotton than to equal the conventional cotton yarn. So it's tough. Now H&M does this where they use conventional cotton and organic cotton at the same time to show the consumer, hey, we also care about the environment, we also care about the harmful effects. But that's only half. Like, I wouldn't even say half, I'm being generous here. I would say maybe 1/8 of their product uses organic cotton. And what do I think of that? Well, at least they're doing something. I'm not gonna lie about it. At least they're doing something. Now, another company that I know is using organic cotton, which is Nudie Jeans. Nudie Jeans, a lot. I'm sure you've seen people wear them. I'm sure you've seen them in Nordstrom, Bloomingdale, Saks Fifth Avenue, and any denim boutiques. Nudie Jeans also markets their fabrics as organic cotton, and they also have certain videos to show organic cotton. Now, to me, even though you have organic cotton, but the amount of waste, the amount of electricity, the amount of water that has to at least irrigate an organic cotton fields is actually much higher than conventional cotton, and this puts you in a tough situation. I mean, cotton is grown into a very hot weather area or fields, and so obviously water evaporates faster because it's hot. But the fact is that if you need that much water to produce the amount of organic cotton compared to conventional cotton, that's tough. Even if you are supporting sustainability, if you are into environment, even if you are into ethics, that puts you in a tough position. No, it just reminds me of how we are driving hybrid cars right now, because they have batteries. While you use up gas, the wheels actually recharges the battery, and also you can also charge it at home. But the fact is that electricity comes from fossil fuels, or gasoline obviously can come from water power, solar power, wind power, geothermal power. But the fact is, we're still using electricity, and to make electricity sometimes we use gas. So in reality, we're not really reducing the amount of pollution that we put up in the air. We are kind of reducing a little bit, but for me, the future of car power or car fuel would be hydrogen. Hydrogen is the most abundant element on earth, and if you suddenly use that on on cars, the only thing that comes out of your tailpipes or exhaust is water. That, to me, will reduce the amount of pollution on earth. Think about it. Trucks, cars, boats, motorcycle using hydrogen, that's amazing. Again, the only thing comes out of it is water. Maybe the only thing that will make it happen is the sea level would rise up. So, the last and not least, the third topic is article from fastcompany.com. The title is "When Made in China Means Sustainable, Ethical, and Expert." A wave of fashion startups are looking to Chinese factories that treat workers well and churn out top-notch products. So this article is pretty good. You got to read it. So basically, the factories in China are competing one another, and for them to be sustainable and to actually have better products, better communication with customer, they raise their salary, they make their offices better, they make communications better, they make employees interaction much better. That way that employees can stay longer, and the information technology, the communication, the product, the technicality, the technical information that each employee know is absolutely there. Not only that, they will stay there longer, and so the company benefits from it. Not only that, these factories are also hiring from different provinces, and some of these factories are in the province which they already have dye houses, cotton farms, or certain types of farming for fabrics such as silk, and so everything is integrated one another, and so that way the replacement of employees is not higher, because some of these companies, it's not just in China, it's also all over the place, is that every company has a high turnover rate, and it all due to management and communication and the way of processing things. And so I'll give you an example. I'm good from the article stating, saying most of them work for a short while, then move into cities in search for higher paying, less menial jobs, or else they return to their families with slightly more money in the bank. This culture of short-term migrant workers means that the factory owners tend to treat their employees as replaceable, so they don't bother investing in good salaries and pleasant workplaces. Without much training or experience, it's no surprise that the products they make tend to be poor quality. So that goes back to my point. The better you treat your employees, the longer they stay in your company. That way they can become expert. They have the information, the know-how, they have the experience, that they have the long-term experience. So when they communicate with the customer, they have the expertise to know, hey, if you do this, this might happen. Or I had another previous customer who did this and it turned out bad. Not only that, since they've been with the company for so long, they can represent the company much better. Not only that, everyone knows each other, and so when everyone knows each other, the interaction between employees are much better. The morale is definitely higher. There is the efficiency there, and so everything's all good. And so that is what's happening in China right now, because everybody wants to make something at a lower cost, but the fact is sometimes you just can't get it because a lot of these workers are replaceable, and so the boss of the company start hiring these new employees without much experience, and who suffers? Basically the customer and the consumer, to get lower quality product. It's really not that hard. It's really simple. And so reading this article made me realize that it's not just in the US. I mean, it's not just in China, but it's also in the US. Because, you know, when you have a person who's been longer in your company, this person knows a lot of information. And even at my work, when this person knows a lot of information, sometimes I ask them a lot of questions because I want to know what they know. I want to know the information that they know, so that I could use it in the future for my future career, whatever it may be. But the fact is that, you know, another thing that I saw in this article, it says, unfortunately, the movement toward more ethical factories in China does not signal a global trend. Increasingly, Chinese companies are themselves seeking out cheap labor in other parts of Asia and the rest of the world. And so that basically, when you read the article, it goes down. It's too bad that a lot of factories in China are not like that, because I think that the treatment of workers benefits companies, benefits the consumer, and benefits the customer, and especially benefits all of us, because In the end, we are just human beings who who have the same common goal: work, become successful, have a family, be successful, travel all the world, just have a happy life. And so that basically concludes this ethical edition of Mr. Informal podcast. I hope you learned something today. Check those articles out, and hopefully you be smart and be professional. Not only that, always do research on the stores or items that you always buy, and remember, always treat others the way you want to treat yourself. And so this concludes the 25th edition of Mr. Informal. I am signing out. I will see you in the next edition of the podcast. Bye bye.